I didn't seek out Villains Incorporated. Villains Incorporated sought out me. When I put out this random vlog of all the movies I didn't want to see this weekend, I got a comment and an email from a distribution company that gave me a press screener for this because Canadian theaters, ironically, are not good at showing Canadian movies, largely because we Canadians would much rather watch our own TV shows as opposed to our own movies, and unfortunately, movies like Villains Inc. are kind of the reason why. I always feel honored whenever a company or a filmmaker offers a press screening for me to review, and it's always a shame whenever I just don't enjoy the movie, but for the most part, everybody is extremely professional and grateful for the feedback, criticism, anything they can have going forward. And as per usual, I'm going to start off with the things I actually liked about this movie. The big draw for me being that one of the main stars is Colin Mochrie. I love Whose Line, I love Colin, and he's easily the best part of this movie. He can say or do anything with a straight face and get a laugh, but he's also really good at giving these big, over-the-top expressions and reactions to given things, and it definitely helps that it suits his character, because out of the main villains or heroes, it's really complicated, we'll get to that part later. Of all the four central characters, he's the one who loves being evil the most. To the point where he will instantly suck up to a bigger bad guy who's done an infinite amount more crime just because he wants to be so much more like them. The concept for this movie is a great idea, and there are so many moments that do tap into the potential that you can get with a story like this. There are so many background jokes that just go to show how normalized the existence of heroes and villains are within this universe. You can tell it's an alternate universe too, because there are certain world leaders who died decades ago, and the reason they're still alive is actually pretty clever. And as for the rival superhero in this movie, as shameless a Homelander knockoff as he is, does a good job satirizing how superheroes are instantly likable no matter what, so repetitive and commercialized as hell. There are so many routines in this that really could have had me laughing on the floor. Which is why it's a shame that whether it's the budget holding them back or their own idea of what makes good entertainment, there are so many story beats and jokes in this that fall flat. For example, the reason superpowers exist in this universe is absolutely ingenious. It comes in the form of street drugs, meaning anyone can be a hero or a villain, making their powers and mental states completely unpredictable and blurring the line between hero and villain or somewhere in between. But those drugs are used in one scene. That I could count. The villain, who's the antagonist to the villains that are the protagonists in this, God, this feels weird, has a line of supplements that can make anyone a supervillain. Sounds pretty cool, right? Again, only one or two scenes do they ever use them. Almost any idea or sequence that requires special effects is surprisingly underutilized. And look, I'm not going to pretend like I was expecting a high budget from this. Hell, some of the effects are only a peg above the ones that I do on a regular basis. But here's the thing. No matter what you do with the stunt work, the special effects, as long as what you're doing looks cool, is a creative idea, and you wish could exist in real life, people can forgive how cheap it looks. There's a sequence in this involving a bowling alley where they use bowling ball after bowling ball as a weapon. And you know what? Some of it looked real, some of it looked fake, but it was always cool to see. There were so many moments like that that should have existed in this movie. Hell, one of the jobs henchmen can have working for a villain is to stand with a target while they practice their weaponry, which should be fun, but all the villains do in this is just run around the field scared shitless of being shot. They don't accidentally get shot in the ass, they don't fall on the ground or bump into each other, shit that would actually be funny. They just repeat the same thing over and over again, and that's really the worst thing about the comedy in this. If it's not cutting a joke short, it is drawing the hell out of it and spelling every little detail out, taking away the subtlety of what makes a good joke. If you guys fail this one more time, you are fired. Literally. With a flamethrower. I will set you on fire.
We still rolling?
There are so many jokes like that, it's just insufferable. And for a movie called Villains Incorporated, the villains who are the heroes of this story are way too damn nice to be villains. I mean, you know that they want to take over the world, but I mean, personality-wise, they seem like everyday ordinary people except they commit crimes. And like, I know that's part of the joke, but we never learn why they want to become villains in the first place. They have really no ambitions other than to be henchmen. They're never diabolical or sadistic or anything that makes them all that threatening. The weirdest thing is they don't even swear in this movie. I'm not kidding when I say this. The hardest curse word in this movie is sucker. I'm coming to get you, you sucker. And doing a little research about the filmmakers and the studio after this, I guess I probably should have seen that coming. Most of the cast and crew in this movie are part of a sketch troupe called Studio C, which advertises itself as being family-friendly sketch comedy. And the studio that actually contacted me to review this is mainly a specialty for faith-based films. And look, before anyone says anything, no, you don't have to swear, be gross, violent, or just politically incorrect in general in order to get a laugh. I mean, Colin's instantly proof of that, but at the same time, the material in this feels like as they were writing it, they felt more concerned about what's inappropriate for kids as opposed to what's funny for all ages. And being able to make anyone and any age laugh at the exact same joke takes a lot of work and effort, especially if you're trying to be fresh and original. That's the best kind of family entertainment. And so many routines in this I've seen a million times before, just not stretched out to the point of exhaustion. And like I said before, if you're gonna call the movie Villains Incorporated, they need to be villainous. And you can make villains intimidating and funny at the exact same time without ever being too safe. But nevertheless, I am grateful for the people at Studio C and Purdy Distribution for giving me the opportunity to check this movie out. And if for whatever reason anything I just said doesn't really matter or you'd find that entertaining anyways, I'd say seek it out in any feeder or streaming service that you can. And with that, guys, thanks as always for watching. If you have seen Villains Incorporated, let me know in the comments below what you think about it. Be sure to stay tuned for more reviews, and be sure to like and subscribe. Take care.